Here is the professional English translation of the news briefings for April 3, 2026. Briefing The New York Times, April 3, 2026. This issue focuses on political shifts, international affairs, and entertainment/commentary. Key highlights include: U.S. politics, Trump discusses firing AG Pam Bondi. Reports indicate Trump has held discussions regarding the potential removal of Attorney General Pam Bondi, reflecting his ongoing focus on Justice Department personnel and potential political implications. Public scrutiny, Trump's ballroom design receives near-zero oversight. An article points out that the design of a Trump-related ballroom has faced almost no public scrutiny or verification, sparking debate over the transparency of public works and the efficacy of media/social oversight. International relations, U.S. intelligence claims Iran skeptical of diplomacy. Citing U.S. intelligence, reports suggest Iran remains skeptical of diplomatic paths at this stage, indicating uncertainty in bilateral communication and negotiation processes. Entertainment, Zendaya and Robert Pattinson on marriage, secrets, and drama. A feature interview explores the two actors' views on marriage, privacy, and the drama within their roles, focusing on the intersection of personal narrative and public persona. Commentary, a crime spree among Trump's pardoned subjects. An op-ed argues that individuals pardoned by Trump are linked to a spreading wave of crime, offering a critical perspective on the consequences of his pardon policy and its impact on public safety. Briefing of The Washington Post, April 3, 2026. Iran front, Pentagon prepares 4 weeks of ground operations. The Pentagon is reportedly preparing for ground operations against Iran that could last several weeks. This suggests a phased military campaign rather than a short-term emergency response. War communication signal noise, Trump's inconsistency causes confusion. Conflicting statements from Trump regarding the war with Iran are creating public and international confusion. Critics view this as a risk inherent in unclear policy signaling during a crisis. Tech mystery, Epstein Island appears on reporters' phone screens when calling White House. A Washington Post reporter noted that their phone screen displayed Epstein Island when dialing the White House. The incident has raised questions about data integrity, system anomalies, and information security. Carolyn Hack's column, Family Dynamics and Emotional Stress. One response addresses a stepfather who became controlling after surviving cancer, emphasizing the need for boundaries. Another focuses on the family rock nearing a breaking point, highlighting the need for shared responsibility to avoid emotional burnout. Briefing of The Wall Street Journal, April 3, 2026. Markets, Hormuz hope drives March rally. Stocks ended March on an upswing as investors bet on a de-escalation of tensions in the Strait of Hormuz. Analysts note this rally reflects shifting sentiment rather than a definitive resolution. Diplomacy, Trump's two-pronged strategy. Exclusive reporting suggests Trump told aides he is willing to end the war, provided it does not involve reopening disputes or operations related to Hormuz. Military options, extracting Iranian uranium under consideration. The Wall Street Journal reports that Trump is weighing military strikes to extract Iran's uranium, showing that hardline military options remain on the table alongside peace narratives. Opinion, reclaiming identity beyond the queer label. A column argues that being gay does not necessitate adopting the queer label, advocating for individual autonomy and self-identification. Retrospective, 50 Years of Apple via Wall Street Journal Archives. A special feature uses the Wall Street Journal archives to trace Apple's 50-year evolution, placing corporate milestones within a long-term historical and public context. Briefing Financial Times, April 3, 2026. Stablecoin stampede. Major traditional financial institutions are racing into the crypto stablecoin market to capture liquidity opportunities, bringing increased focus on regulation and compliance. Cost of living. Financial expert Martin Lewis suggests that replacing certain household appliances can reduce running costs by up to 20 times compared to a tumble dryer. Public safety. A report notes that 20 times more children are being caught doing silly things, urging parents to increase supervision to prevent risk-taking behavior. Briefing of The Guardian, April 3, 2026. Intelligence personnel. Trump is consulting advisors on replacing top intelligence officials, signaling continued volatility within the U.S. intelligence community. Social media warfare. The U.S. has instructed embassies to use Platform X, formerly Twitter, to counter anti-American propaganda and foreign hostility. Symbolic politics. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis signed a bill to rename Palm Beach Airport after Trump. Campus controversy. A leader of a college Republicans chapter sparked outrage after making racist and sexist remarks during a live stream. Briefing of the Times, April 3, 2026. Political scandal. A model allegedly received $25 per minute for explicit chats with Kristi Noem's husband while he was dressed in drag. Health. Singer Lola Young discusses her recovery process, stating she is doing much better. Celebrity interview. Actor Brian Cox makes headlines for his blunt criticisms of Trump and Nigel Farage, as well as his candidness about sex at age 79. Media partnership. Delta Sync has integrated the New York Times into its platform, offering news and games to users. Middle East. Israel is reportedly shifting its strategic focus toward pressuring Iran's economy as the conflict enters a completion phase. Briefing The Telegraph and Regional, April 3, 2026. U.S. politics. Trump reportedly fired the Attorney General over controversies surrounding the Epstein files. NATO. In an exclusive interview, Trump stated he is strongly considering withdrawing from NATO. War costs. The White House is reportedly panicking to find a way to end an expensive war due to mounting fiscal and public pressure. Sports. Gianluigi Buffon and the head of the Italian FA resigned following another World Cup failure. Local news. A restaurant in Macon received a C health grade, prompting local inquiries into hygiene management. Briefing Le Monde, April 3, 2026. Nuclear Watch. Satellite imagery reveals mysterious cargo at an Iranian nuclear site in Isfahan, raising transparency concerns. Trump rhetoric. Trump claimed victory is near in the Iran conflict but simultaneously promised massive strikes. Diplomacy. President Macron declined to respond to Trump's marriage jibes, opting for a de-escalation strategy. Economy. Israel is preparing for a delayed economic shock resulting from the war with Iran. Briefing ELPAS, April 3, 2026. Airspace. Spain has closed its airspace to flights related to the Iran war, though U.S. bases continue to operate for other purposes. Supreme Court. The U.S. birthright citizenship case has reached the Supreme Court, potentially reshaping immigration law. Venezuela. Legal proceedings against Nicolas Maduro and his wife in the U.S. are expected to be a lengthy judicial process. Argentina. A key phone linked to the Libra case has heightened legal risks for the Argentine president. Briefing Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung, FAZ, April 3, 2026. Balkans. Albania is urged not to follow Serbia's path of rejecting the EU, focusing instead on reform momentum. German politics. Friedrich Merz accused Trump of causing a major escalation in the Iran conflict. Aviation. Rising fuel costs due to the war have forced Lufthansa to ground older, less efficient aircraft. Energy. Wealthy nations are breaking long-standing taboos by showing renewed interest in nuclear power. Briefing Süddeutsche Zeitung, April 3, 2026. Panama Papers. A 10-year retrospective by ICIJ highlights the lasting impact of the leak on global tax transparency. Maritime security. Germany has begun restricting Russian vessels from entering its territorial waters. Religion. Following criticism, Netanyahu granted a cardinal permission to enter the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. Briefing China Daily, April 3, 2026. Market rumors. Shares of the Chinese company Laplace hit their daily limit following rumors of a major Tesla order. The company later clarified that no formal agreement has been reached. Briefing Yomiuri Shimbun, April 3, 2026. Semiconductors. TSMC plans to manufacture 3 nanometers chips in Japan. Finance. The 10-year JGB yield rose to 2.4%, a 29-year high. Automotive. Domestic new car sales in Japan fell for the first time in 4 years for FY25. Briefing Asahi Shimbun, April 3, 2026. Defense. Japan is deploying long-range missiles as a deterrent signal. Judiciary. A court ruled that depriving parolees of the right to vote is unconstitutional. Tech. The government's cloud migration plan has stalled due to rising costs. Briefing The Sydney Morning Herald, April 3, 2026. Health. An Australian study warns that vaping may cause cancer. Analysis: a commentary suggests Netanyahu and Putin are using Trump by exploiting his blunt nature. Tiger Woods: bodycam footage revealed Woods told officers he was talking to the president following his car accident. Briefing the Globe and Mail, April 3, 2026. Corporate governance: a column criticizes Air Canada's CEO, stating employees and investors deserve better returns. Geopolitics: an analysis predicts the U.S. may emerge as a weaker power following the conflict with Iran. Briefing the Straits Times, April 3, 2026. Missing person: a 15-year-old girl missing since March 26 in Tampines has been found. Maritime: Trump issued a fresh warning to Iran to keep the Strait of Hormuz open. Red Sea: officials claim Iran is using the Houthis to pressure global shipping in the Red Sea. Briefing the Hindu, April 3, 2026. Tech: forcing employees to use AI is reportedly backfiring, leading to resistance and decreased quality of work. Health: the dengue vaccine is described as effective but not a silver bullet. Briefing Al Jazeera, April 3, 2026. Diplomacy: Iran's foreign minister confirmed contact with U.S. envoy Witkoff but denied that formal negotiations are underway. War financing: Trump is reportedly interested in asking Arab nations to pay for the costs of the war against Iran.